Hey, what is going on, guys, and welcome back to Too Much Tech. And in today's video we're going to be reviewing the PowerA Spectra Enhanced controller. So this is almost a pro controller, but it has a couple buttons on the back for, you know, remapping and all that stuff. But what makes this one special, I actually reviewed the regular Spectra controller a while back, probably almost a year and a half ago now at this point. But I reviewed that one a while back. Really good controller, and it was only like 20 or 25 bucks depending on the sale. But this controller is $50 and it features RGB. Now, do I think that that's worth like doubling the price? And it might be a little much, especially because the regular enhanced controller is so low. But for $50, I mean, this thing has been sold out for months, and I wonder why. And basically it's because the original enhanced controller was already really good, and this one is just as good, just has lights, and everybody loves RGB right now, right? So I do want to give a huge thanks to PowerA for sending out this controller for review. I've actually had it for a while and I've just been really busy, so apologize for the late review. I actually teased you guys like a couple months back when I got it, and it's been a really busy summer. Because of that, I want to make this video a little bit longer as well and tell you if you should buy this controller, if you should consider something else. So let's start off with the basics. So obviously, standard Xbox layout. It is very similar in dimensions to the standard Xbox One controller, but you know, it doesn't have like the little dips and stuff, so it doesn't look as professional, I guess, as like the regular Xbox controller. But I will say that the D-pad quality is better than the Xbox One controller, because this is a bit more, it's a little bit too directional for me personally, where this has a little bit more freedom in my opinion, and I think that this would be a little bit better if you were playing like a lot of fighting games or something like that. Now, the thumbsticks, they're actually the exact same height as the standard Xbox controller, and you are able to use Xbox One control freaks on this controller. Now, I do wish that these thumbsticks were taller, so that's where the control freaks obviously would come in. But that is something that is fixed on the PowerA Fusion Pro controller here. This one, you do have optional taller sticks. So we're going to talk about these two at the end of the video. This one we don't really have to talk about because there's no paddle, so yeah, it's basically not nearly as good. Now this, the thumbstick smoothness is very good. It is comparable to the standard Xbox One. I would actually say that this is a little bit better on the Spectra Enhanced controller. Next, let's talk about the button quality. Like, the triggers and the bumpers are really good in my opinion. The face buttons do feel good as well. Now, they do feel just a little bit better on the standard Xbox One controller, but these are definitely passable. No problems there. The D-pad we talked about, I like a lot, and the thumbsticks are fine. Now, on the back, these triggers, you do have two levels of trigger stop. So obviously you have your off, and then you have the two settings. You know, you got one right in the middle that is just like a little bit of a trigger, and then you have those two additional modes where in the middle you get like a half trigger press, and then all the way at the maximum height for these trigger stops you get that hair trigger like press. So I do like the trigger stops as well, and I mean, for 50 bucks a controller with really good trigger stops, that's excellent. Then additionally, you get these two remappable paddles. Now, to remap the paddles, you just press and hold this program button up here, and then this light will start to blink. And as soon as that light starts to blink, you press the face button and you press the paddle you want to remap it to, and just like that, your paddle or back button, whatever you want to call it, has been remapped. It's really easy to do, doesn't really take much effort at all. Now, below the program button is the button to control the LED light. So you press this button and you can change the colors. You do have 7 different colors to pick from, and then you have like this RGB fading mode, and after that you have off. You can choose to use the controller without the RGB, but the only point in buying it really is for the RGB. That's why you would spend the extra money on this instead of getting the regular enhanced controller. Now, this does say for Xbox One and Windows 10, and Microsoft has basically announced that a lot of the controllers that are out now will work with the Xbox Series S and X. So I don't see any reason why this would be different. We'll have to check and see if PowerA comes out with an official statement to say if it's compatible or not. But honestly speaking, I'm pretty sure that it will be, if like the controllers from the other brands that are also wired will be compatible. Now, this controller is wired, It's not wireless, unfortunately, but it is less than or pretty similar price to a Microsoft controller. If you care about it being wireless, then obviously, you know, you're kind of out of luck. You got to go with a regular controller or spend $180 on an Elite controller. But personally, I don't really mind the wire. The cable that they give you is actually really long, so you shouldn't really have any issues connected to your console, even if it is a bit further away. Now, should you buy the Spectra Enhanced controller over the PowerA Fusion Pro? Personally, the Fusion Pro, even though it is about $30 more, this one typically is about $80, where this one, if you can find it in stock, is about $50. The Fusion Pro, I like the fact that in the box it comes with taller thumbsticks. That's a problem that I've had with the Xbox One thumbsticks from day one, so I like that a lot. On the Fusion Pro, you also get the fact that you can change the paddles to have either 1, 2, 3, 4, up to you. You can remove these and have more or less paddles, whereas on the back of the Spectra Enhanced controller, you only have those 2 buttons that will always be there. So if for whatever reason you bought one of these controllers and you didn't want back buttons, you're going to be stuck with them on the Spectra Enhanced, whereas on the Fusion, it is a bit more of a premium controller, so you can customize it a bit more. In the Fusion Pro, you can also swap the faceplates as well, but there's not really like a ton of them available, and personally, like, this doesn't really matter to me, but this is just convenient to swap out the thumbsticks. But other than that, personally, the Fusion Pro joysticks are a little bit smoother. It's comparable, but I would say the Fusion Pro is a solid maybe 8 to 10% smoother than it is on the Spectra Enhanced. But let's just say that you don't want or don't have $80 to spend on a controller. Well, this Spectra Enhanced is a really good deal. I mean, you got RGB, you got all the primary functions that you would really need by having those remappable buttons on the back that are really easy to set for this controller. I feel like the only thing that I would want is maybe like a profiles button down here by the mic jack for like a profile 1 and profile 2 switch. That's pretty much the only thing that I would want to make it easier on the fly to swap profiles, because let's say you had it set for one game, you want to set it for another, and you don't want to go through the programming process. But to PowerA's credit, it is really easy to reprogram, so I guess I'm just being kind of nitpicky. But alright guys, that is going to be it for this video. If you enjoy, be sure to drop a like and subscribe if you're new to the channel. I will have both the Spectra Enhanced controller as well as the Fusion Pro linked in the description below, so if you're interested in either, feel free to check them out in the Amazon links in the description. Don't forget to subscribe, drop a comment if you have any questions, join my Discord if you want to talk about tech with the rest of us, and yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video.